Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Samantha Kelly Show. We are here with our second guest for the Samantha Kelly Show, with Tracy Bedwell. I'm really thrilled to have Tracy because we were supposed to do this before, but then, life takes over sometimes and you have to postpone it. So, Tracy, thank you so much for coming on to this.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm really excited. And I didn't realize I was only your second guest.
Yes.
So you're excited.
Yes, I know. Well, I only kind of launched the Samantha Kelly Show, but yes, it's a great way for me to interview people who are interesting to me and get to know you better. But also, our clients and our audiences are probably similar, so it's nice for our audience to be able to see, what's going on. What's going on in the? That's so funny.
So, Tracy, thank you so much.
That's so funny. Can you hear that?
Yes, I can. It's like an echo.
I've gone live on my phone. See, social media technology. This is what happens. We are going to talk today about lead magnets, and it's something that I didn't even know what a lead magnet was when I started my business. So, Tracy, tell us a little bit about why we decided to do this topic today: sell more using lead magnets.
I think it's a topic that you're not alone in not really understanding what they are and how they can help you and the value they bring to generate leads and help you close sales. So I think it's a subject that we do a lot of sales training. Obviously, we're a sales training company. And when I go in, they always say to me, we want sales training on the process. We want sales training on this, but nobody ever mentions lead magnets. And I just often think, how can anybody in a sales role, whether you're a sales leader, a salesperson, you're running your own business, how do you do it without a lead magnet? Because for me, they are absolutely essential in creating leads and helping you close sales, helping you build trust with people. And they also are a great tool to use on social media as well, in terms of posting and getting your expertise across to others. I think they're a fantastic tool, and that's why we chose to talk about it today, because I don't think they're talked about enough. I don't think people understand what they are, and I don't think people use them enough.
Yeah, I agree with you. So for people who don't know you, Tracy, tell them a little bit about you and what you do and why you are such an expert in this space.
Okay, well, I have been in sales, and I worked this out the other day, for 40 years. I started at 16.
Come on. When you started?
16 years old, I started in my first sales role, and I'm 56 now. So I've been in sales for a long, long time. I worked in corporate for the first 14 years of my career. And that was a mixture of roles, like from head of sales to sometimes head of L&D, focusing on sales training. Then I left and set up my own training company, and we started off just being purely a sales training company. We've grown a lot now over the last 26 years, and we do lots of other things apart from sales training. But my passion, my background, my subject expertise is sales training. So I've been doing it for a long, long time now. And always B2B sales, always.
Brilliant, fantastic. So let's say if someone like me or someone who's watching today wanted to work with you, do you do one-to-one as well?
Yeah, so we do in-house training. We do, and that can either be face-to-face or virtual. And we do sales coaching, because some people don't want to do sales coaching in-house. We do one-to-one sales coaching as well. And we also do conference speaking and sales kickoffs and that type of thing. So, yeah.
Excellent. Oh, excellent. So for me, I have a lead magnet. Okay. My lead magnet is, 5 ways to reconnect with your LinkedIn audience. And people download that and they put their email address in. So if you want to explain exactly what a lead magnet is and what would be good ideas for a lead magnet, and maybe if someone comments in the audience, we can actually have a look at their business and maybe give them an idea for a lead magnet.
Sure. Yeah. So I think that was a really key thing you said there. I have a lead magnet. Okay, Samantha, I have 500 lead magnets.
Wow. Okay.
There's the first difference. Okay. So what is a lead magnet? Well, a lead magnet is something that you can use that adds value to another person and also shows off your expertise. So it can be a lot of different things, and I'll cover that in a minute. And the purpose of it is you're trying to get somebody's interest, get their information. So you quite rightly said, I have this information, and they put their email into it to get that information. So that's what a lead magnet is. But most people make the mistake. Well, most people make two mistakes. First of all, they don't ask for anything in return for the lead magnet. And secondly, they have one or two lead magnets. Now, you don't need 500. I want to make everybody feel quite calm about that. You do not need 500 lead magnets, but you need a selection.
Yes.
So what is a lead magnet? I'll give you some examples of what a lead magnet can be and how we use them. A lead magnet could be a PDF download. It could be a free webinar. It could be an infographic. It could be a questionnaire type thing. It could be a white paper. It could be a blog.
Could it be
a quiz? It could be a blog. It could be a how-to guide. It could be an industry report. I think it could be a video. You're getting the idea. It's something where you show your expertise. So there's a wide range of lead magnets. Now, I'm talking about them today from a sales perspective. If you had a marketing person on here, they'd probably talk to you a little bit differently, and how they use them in marketing, and how they track them, and how they embed them in email campaigns and things like that. But we're talking today from a sales perspective. So there's lots of different things that you can use as a lead magnet. There's probably 20 to 30 different types of lead magnets a month. So that's point number one. Point number two is, where can you use them? Well, we have them on our website. We use them on our YouTube channel. We use them on our social media. We use them on our newsletters. We use them in our email drops. I also use them when I connect to people on LinkedIn. So if I connect to people on LinkedIn, if you look at my post today, I did 5 tips of how to make LinkedIn work better for you. And the 5th one was actually have some conversations with people. And one of the ways I open up conversations with people once I've connected to them is I look at what industry they're in, I look at what job role they're doing, I look at their profile, and I think, what lead magnet have I got that might be useful to them? And when I reach out, I say, thanks for connecting to me. I've looked at your industry, I've looked at your profile, I've looked at your job role. I have this that I think you might like. Would you like a copy? So I use it to start conversations with. So I use them in all different ways. So as I say, there's a big batch of them on our website. I also use them when I'm sending off a proposal to people. I say, here's a proposal following on from our meeting that we had. And also, here's some information that I think might be useful to you. Or here's a sample of what our work might look like. And then when I'm following up on sales, when I follow up, I say, as agreed, I'm following up a week later to see what you thought of this, and what's your thoughts on this, and what's your thoughts on that, and will you be moving forward from it? And by the way, here's something else for free.
Yes.
So I use them in so many different ways. Now, if I only had one, I would struggle for 2 reasons. Number one, you can only use them once with one person.
Yes.
Number two, one lead magnet, is it suitable for everybody? Is it tailored? Probably not.
I've actually, I'm in the middle of a rebrand. So, as you know, I'm in the middle of a rebrand. So I'm actually designing 3 other ones. So I'm glad you said that one is okay, because I wasn't sure. So
now, here's the thing about them. Repurposing is key. Sam. So if you're going to redesign one, here's how I design mine. And this may help you when you're in the process of designing them right now. So I start with one. So let's say it could be a blog, or it might be a video. I don't know. But let's just say I'm going to start with a blog for the website. We put 2 blogs up a month, or it could be a video. And I design it. And then from that, I make multiple other lead magnets. So if I'm doing a blog, I'll then have a look at that blog and think, okay, can that be a script for a video? Let's create a video. Can we now make 10 shorts from that video? And then, can we do infographics based on the information? Could we do a fact sheet or a download based on that information? So you can probably, from one piece of content, get 5 to 10 lead magnets easily. And I think that's quite important. And then once you've got those 5 to 10 lead magnets, you can repurpose them across multiple channels. You can put them on a YouTube channel, you can put them on your website, you can put them on your LinkedIn, you can put them on your Insta, you can put them on your TikTok, you can send them out as part of your newsletter.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much you can do with them. So
I agree. I mean, I actually did a presentation once, and it was how to create your signature talk, right? Because someone was sick and it was a network thing. And I said, I think I could deliver that. Like, so I said, I'll do it. I said, I'll step in and do it. Like, so I did it. And actually that ended up being a lead magnet.
sure.
How to create your signature talk. So I was like, hang on now. And so people did download that. So it's about testing which one works best as well, isn't it? And sorry,
Exactly.
I was not Adam, who joined us from X actually, rather than LinkedIn. So hi, Adam. It's lovely to see you. Adam is SEO expert. So yeah, thank you for your comments. So yeah, what do you think of that? You know, if you have a piece of content like a presentation, that could be a lead, could it?
Absolutely. And Adam's got a good point there. It's a way to showcase your expertise and to build trust. People only buy from you if they trust you.
Yeah.
I mean, we always hear this saying, don't we? People buy from people they like. I don't think that's always true. I don't think it matters so much whether they like you. I think it matters that they trust you. And how do you show your trust? How do you become a trusted advisor quickly? Because sometimes you only get a few seconds or a few minutes when you're talking to someone. How can you show your trust? How can you build your expertise or show your expertise? And lead magnets are a fantastic way of doing that, a really fantastic way of doing that. I've got a free webinar coming up. I think it's Wednesday this week or Thursday. I can't remember whether it is. And what I will do is, obviously people will have joined that and said, yes, I want to come to your webinar. So I've got their details from that. But then that webinar will be recorded and it will be repurposed onto my YouTube channel. So that's the second part I will be using it. And then the third part I'll be using it is when I do a mail drop later this month. Access to the webinar will go into that. And then when I do my newsletter, a link to the webinar will go in that. So that webinar alone will be in 4 different places. Possibly even 5 sometimes. I might put it on our website or a clip of it if it's good. Or I might break down certain clips and use those clips on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I love webinars. I love doing
webinars. Well, a webinar's great. You can break them down into lots of different chunks and things.
How long would you do the webinar for?
About half an hour. Normally I do a free webinar for, and then if you put it onto your, obviously if you're recording it on Zoom or if you pop it onto your YouTube channel, you can grab the script from it, and that script is a good starting point to do your blog and so on. I mean, honestly, every piece of material I have is multi-part, is used 10 times, you know, and
we'll probably do that with this as well, folks, by the way. This is live, and I love doing LinkedIn Lives, as you know, and LinkedIn Live is really powerful, I find, for getting leads. So it's like I've put your website down underneath, so if anyone wants to,
thank you.
There are loads of lead magnets there for different every topic imaginable. So well done, Tracy. I think you're excellent. And you know, I think for people watching as well, like this LinkedIn Live is recorded, so this will be there. Actually, people can watch the replay afterwards, but also we can chop it up. We can get the transcript. I'll put it in my LinkedIn newsletter. So Tracy's getting into my community by going into my LinkedIn newsletter, and I will say if you want to watch the replay here, but I'll do a little transcript of a summary of it. You know,
and you'll go into my community when I put it as a link onto mine as well. But I just think they're just such an underutilized tool. And when we go into companies to deliver sales training, and I say to the sales teams or the sales leader, like, what lead magnets do you have? And sometimes they look at me like, what do you mean? What lead magnets? And I was like, well, how are you doing your job without them?
I don't know. I can't understand it. I know. I was just talking to somebody recently. I was like, what's your lead magnet? How are people signing up like with their email addresses? And they didn't even have email addresses.
How are you capturing data? How are you showing your expertise? And you know, this is when sales and marketing really need to work together closely, really closely, because, you know, quite often the salesperson won't have the capability of creating a lead magnet.
Yeah.
Or they may not have the autonomy to create a lead magnet, but your marketing department will.
And if you don't have a marketing department, Tracy?
Well, then you go to someone like yourself or to us who can help you create those. You know, we are not a marketing company. We create lead magnets, but we're not a marketing company. But, you know, even if you're running your own business, you can't do everything yourself. But there's plenty of people out there, plenty of businesses, plenty of consultants who will create infographics, create videos.
There's a lot of freelancers.
Create loads of freelancers out there who will create those tools for you pretty cheaply. And, you know, I think it's really important. And I think I just noticed Adam had made a couple of good points on here. First of all, you said he was an SEO expert. Well, you know, SEO experts love lead magnets because the more content for your website.
Yes.
You know, and we all know Google likes rich content, and you can pepper your SEO. You can pepper your lead magnets with lots of great SEO.
Yeah.
Phrases and terms. And he's now saying we can make sure it's easy for AI agents to read them as well as, and, you know, and that is 2025, you know, can AI read them? Is it SEO friendly?
Yeah.
There are other things that we need to think about when we are creating these lead magnets.
Yeah.
And you had a great point earlier, Sam, like not all lead magnets are going to work for everybody and for each industry and each company. So you have to test what works best for you. What lead magnets are the best within your industry and for your customers. I have a great story. I had a customer and they work in a very specialist industry in Wales. And something was changing with the, what's the word I'm looking for, with the government legislation within their industry in Wales. It was very niche. And this particular client said to me, what do you think about if we create a white paper on the changes in the legislation and what it means in our industry and what people need to do? And I said, that is a cracking lead magnet because it shows your expertise, but I don't think anybody else is doing it. So, you know, we helped them create this great white paper. We turned it into a few other things. It went around everybody in their industry, not just their own clients, but everybody in their industry. And it won them so much new business because none of their competitors had thought to do it.
Yeah.
It took a little time, but
I did that for a logistics company when Brexit came around, and I was like, "Why don't you do your guide to Brexit, your
perfect
5-step guide to Brexit?" You know, they were like, "Oh yeah," and it worked.
It does work, especially if nobody else is doing it, Sam. If you're in a niche industry where something is changing, and it impacts you, get a lead magnet going, get a fact sheet or a guide or a white paper or a how-to. A tip list of whatever going and send it round everybody within that industry, because at that point that wins you a lot of business. Do a how-to video or better still, a webinar on upcoming changes in this industry and what's going to happen. Webinars are a great source of lead magnets, you know.
Yeah, I find, you know, I was doing them maybe for an hour, so maybe I'm doing them too long. That's interesting.
I just feel like people don't want to allocate an hour of their time, half an hour, they probably will. We tend to do them around lunchtime, so people might get an hour's lunch. They might well listen for half an hour, not the whole hour.
Like what we're doing now, really.
Yeah, half an hour, I think, is probably maximum. And also for YouTube, you know, I think for YouTube, people don't want to watch an hour's video on YouTube, but they will watch half an hour if they find it really interesting.
Actually, I noticed I was on TikTok the other day and I was on a video and I was listening. Then I just like, oh, you're taking too long. And I just went to the next video. And I went, oh, did I just do that? It's like mad, isn't it? It's like people's attention span.
Well, I don't do TikTok and I don't do X, which I know are your big domains, because my clients don't really sit in those places. And I think that's another important thing to know, is where your clients sit. Exactly. My clients sit on Google and they sit on LinkedIn. That's it. And probably AI, but they're never going to go on Insta or TikTok or Facebook to find me. But I think it's important to be putting your lead magnets where you know your clients are sitting.
Yeah.
And you've got a bit more opportunity on YouTube to go a bit longer, but on TikTok, short, very short.
Yep. And then actually, I'm sure people in the audience might have this question. What do you do after you get their email address into the lead magnet?
Well, there you go. What do we do? Well, we do certain things, different companies and different marketing experts all use them for different things. So when you get someone's email address, obviously it goes onto your email database. So when you're sending out emails monthly, however often you send them out, and they can sign up for your newsletter, etc. I think it's really important when you get someone's email address straight away to reach out one-to-one and say, thank you for joining the webinar. Here's some extra information. What did you think? To try and get a conversation. When you first get that email address, that's your prime time to get a one-to-one conversation. If you don't do it, then you've missed your opportunity. So
actually, I love engaging during the webinar as well. Yes. I find that people don't like, welcoming Adam there, for example, and then actually we have
somebody was coming in from Mexico, I think. Yes. Hello from Mexico.
Thank you. So, like this is like, so yes. And then after the webinar, it's really, that's the hot time, is it?
That's the hot time. That next 48 hours after you've got that is your hot time to thank them, to reach out and to offer them another lead magnet. But we can still use that email in multiple places. I think it's really important to segment your audiences. If you just have one massive database with 6,000 people on it, how are you going to know who wants what? But if you're segmenting them, however you choose to segment them, whether it's industry, job role, location, interest, I don't know how you want to segment them. But then when you have other things coming up, other webinars, new lead magnets, it's easier to send them to the people who it's more relevant to.
Yes.
And I find, we get business Sam coming to us and I'll say, oh, how did you find us? Well, we've been getting your email or we've been getting your newsletter for the last 2 years. So when we needed this, you were the first person who came to mind.
There you go. Staying top of mind.
Top of mind, always. But reach out in that first 48 hours with something very tailored, I would say.
I agree. I have my audiences, like the ones who downloaded the Signature Talk lead magnet are in a different list to the ones who downloaded the ones about Twitter, for example. It's like, totally. So lead magnets. Okay. So what have been the most successful ones for you that you've found, even for your clients? Is it the PDF? Is it the questionnaire? Is it which ones do you think? I know it's different. I
think it's different audiences, different things. I also, I do think videos do well, especially how-to guides. And I think when people see you on a video, it creates that little bit more trust. So I know a lot of people are very wary to create videos, and certainly if you put them on LinkedIn, they'd never really get as much sort of viewing and as maybe an infographic would. But for me, I really like a video. I don't like too many videos because I get a little bit it's that thing you said before. When I see someone on LinkedIn every day on a video, I stop watching them. Because oh God, there they are again on a video. But if someone's putting a video out like once a week, once a month, then it's very informative and it's a really good video. I look forward to it.
Yes.
So I think that's one thing that works well for me. I think things like how-to guides always work well, as long as they're short enough. I really like what I call like a cheat sheet infographic where everything's on one page so that it's easily, oh bless you, so it's easy to sort of share around. Our most popular infographic was an ebook that I wrote on B2B lead generation. Now, it was quite a meaty ebook. I'll tell. It's 30 pages. It wasn't supposed to be. I started writing an actual book, got bored and decided to just cut it short and do the ebook. I thought, oh my God, this is just chapter 1 and I'm on 30 pages. Forget this. But that ebook is quite a detailed ebook, and it really shows our expertise on lead gen. So we put it on our website and we sent it out a lot, and we use it to support proposals. And I think it really gives people the confidence that we know what we're talking about and we're thorough.
Yes.
So I think it depends on your audience, and the demographic and where they sit and what industry you're in and what type of job roles you deal with and what age range you deal with as well.
True, because they prefer video. The younger people probably prefer video, whereas I know that the older generation, like me, we like to read things, you know. So yeah, it's all about your audience. And this is why it's so important to go back right to the start and figure out who is your target audience, who's your target customer. And that is probably one of the biggest things you come across as well.
And have a mix, because what works for one target customer won't work for the next. So if you do have this, what you're doing at the moment, you said you're creating 3 new pieces of content. If you turn those 3 pieces of content into a blog, an infographic, a PDF, a video, that means that you're probably going to catch most of your demographic at one point, because you're going to drip feed it across the year on different channels, and different. One person will like the video, one person will love the blog, one person will like the infographic.
Yeah. I don't know, infographics. I don't know if I like them now myself. I think for me, with you, Tracy, like, you always show your expertise with every post that you do on LinkedIn. So folks, if you're not connected with Tracy, definitely connect with her after this. I mean, she definitely adds value every time. And, I think with people on LinkedIn in particular, I think a lot of them are time poor, and they do like to get something for free. But I think, how do you feel LinkedIn is at the moment for anyone who's watching on LinkedIn? Is there any tips you could give them that would help them, if they had a lead magnet, should they post like the link to the lead magnet, or what way should they go about it?
Well, LinkedIn's tough at the moment. We all know, everybody's whinging on LinkedIn, aren't they? That our reach is not as good, and it's full of AI, and it's full of people basically lying, saying, 10 times you're this in 24 hours, and oh, poor me, this happened to me, boo hoo hoo, oh good, that's got me a few more likes. We know it's full of all this rubbish at the moment. We know that. But my advice is, if you keep showing up and showing your expertise and being authentic, connect, make sure your profile's right. Make sure you're connecting to the right people and not to everybody, unless you're selling a book and you want the whole world to buy it. Make sure you're connecting to the right people. Post stuff that shows your expertise, but is not too salesy. So this is where your lead magnets come in.
Yeah.
But also, you can post some personal stuff from time to time as well. But I think, posting and showing your expertise is more important than ever at the moment. And it's got to come from here, because there's a lot of AI generated rubbish on LinkedIn at the moment.
Yeah.
And that does get a lot of likes. But I want to just show to me, oh, well, one of my competitors put this really rubbish infographic up, and it had like 2,000 likes, and mine only had like 20. And I said, let's go through those likes. Let's now click on the people who like them, and you tell me, would any of those 2,000 people be your ideal customer? Well, no. Now let's click on the 20 who liked yours. Are any of those 20 your ideal customer? There you go. It's not about how popular you are. It's about who you're reaching and with what.
Oh, 100%. And that happened actually. Someone was a similar kind of question, a similar thing. Oh, our competitors doing this. And I did the exact same. And I clicked. And a great way is LinkedIn newsletters to get to your audience. And we did it last week with a client, and she was like, oh my God, that's a potential customer. That's a potential. The people that had subscribed were all the right people, And
well, I think if you're going to do and I agree, a LinkedIn newsletter is awesome, but make sure you don't launch it until you've got your right audience. Don't go and launch a newsletter when you've only got 500 followers or connections and they're not all ideal. Tidy them up, clean them out, and spend a couple of months connecting to the right people, because we know once you launch a LinkedIn newsletter, the first one goes to all your audience. So we want the right people in that audience, and as many of them as possible.
Absolutely, 100%. So to recap then on this, you mentioned there's a question. You could do a questionnaire, PDF, webinar, infographic, quiz. Wrote them all down here. A how-to, an industry report, a white paper, YouTube video. I mean, there's so many different ways. So, is there anything you want to add before we wrap up?
I would say you've very kindly put my website on the bottom of this. Go onto it and have there's a section in the tab at the top called free resources. Go into that section and have a root round, because there's a good example. There's a link to our YouTube channel there. There's a link to our blog channel. And then there's all these pages like sales free resources, leadership free resources, Lean Six Sigma free resources. Go and have a play around on that section of the website. That will give you a really good view of what lead magnets are. You'll see some of our videos on the YouTube channel. You can read some of our blogs. You can have a look at some of the PDF files. There's some questionnaires on there. There's some infographics. You can start to see what a lead magnet looks like.
Yes.
That might be a good starting point, you know, and then you can steal some of those ideas and create your own based on that.
And if people did want some help in creating these lead magnets, is that something that you would do?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we work with sales companies, you know, well, not sales companies, and their sales teams often come to us. Oh, there's Jeff Young coming in. Hello, Jeff, lovely. He's a good contact of mine. I would say if you don't follow Jeff, go and follow Jeff. He's lovely too. But no, I would say if you need help understanding what's going to be the best lead magnets for your sales team and how to create them, we can do that for you. Yeah, I mean, we're not a marketing company. That's where I'd send them to someone like yourself. If they actually want, you know, we don't do mail campaigns or anything like that. We don't run your marketing but we do work with sales teams to create lead magnets.
Okay, so really getting the sales team in a call with you is really the best thing to do.
I think getting the head of sales on a call with us is a good starting point, and getting the marketing team on a call with you is a pretty good starting point too.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, well done, Tracy. I think you're awesome. You know, and by the way, folks, myself and Tracy connected on LinkedIn, and you know, we haven't, I suppose, nearly, I don't know, is it a year? Probably not a year yet. Not even a year connected, right? This is the power of collaborating. We're doing this together.
Yeah.
We're helping each other by doing this, right?
Yeah.
So folks, can we all start helping each other by doing little collaborations like this? Because this is the kind of thing, Melanie has just asked a question. This is the kind of thing that works really well. Hi, Tracy, would love to know what you think of my Substack article I wrote on lead magnets last week. There you go.
Well, Melanie, do me a favor. Send me a connection request if I'm not already connected to you, and send me a link to it, and I will look at it and I will give you some feedback.
Actually, we're getting more hi from Ireland. Great information.
If anybody wants me to look at any lead magnets, just connect me and tell me you saw me on Sam's live and what do you think of this, and I will honestly, completely free of charge, give you my honest opinion.
Yeah, she has a great one that she will send to you.
I'd love to see it.
Working together just works so well, folks. So, you know, even if there's someone here in the chat that you want to network with or connect with, please do. And thank you so much, Tracy.
Well, thank you. It was my pleasure, and I feel honoured to be your second guest.
Thank you.
Take care.
So stay here for a minute while I end the stream.